So Dennis, thanks for speaking with us. Since the education tax credit and the New York Dream Act were both dropped from the budget, we felt kind of in the dark over here in the Diocese of Brooklyn, and so you being in Albany, we're really eager to hear anything from you as to what's really going on. What is the state of things as far as the New York State Catholic Conference involvement?
Well, we're still working really hard to get the tax credit back in the budget. We never supported the idea of linking those two items together. We're very supportive of the DREAM Act, and we're especially supportive of the education tax credit because we think it's critical to the future of Catholic education, especially in the inner cities where people just can't afford tuition, and the tax credit would help these scholarship funds that help families send their kids to parochial schools. So we have been asking the governor to delink those two issues because the DREAM Act, frankly, doesn't have the political support in the Senate right now. And we are going to be strongly in support of that, but we don't think that needs to be part of the budget. We've been asking the governor to delink the two. He's now talking about that link about the two bills being done separately after the budget. That's all well and good to talk about that, but the budget is when the best chance to get it done is, and we need that tax credit done. So we're urging the governor to get back to the negotiating table on this bill, and we're urging the Assembly, the Speaker, Carl Hastie, and all of the members to put pressure on the Assembly leadership to get this tax credit done. We know the Senate is on board. They've passed the bill in their own house many times. Senator Marty Golden of Brooklyn is the chief sponsor. In the Assembly, that has never come to a vote, but we know it has strong bipartisan support. A majority of the conference of that body does support it. So we're trying to get that message clear. Don't let our kids down. We can't wait another year. We can't say we'll do this later because that's what they said last year. We don't have to do it in the budget. We'll get it done later, and that didn't happen. During the budget process is when the pressure is on, so that's when we need to make sure that we get what we need.
And so we have a statement from the governor where he essentially says that the negotiations broke down. We don't really know what that means. Do you know what is really at stake in the negotiations that got it dropped out of the budget, and what would get it brought back in?
Well, in Albany, they have it's known as three men in a room because the budget is pretty much hammered out by the governor and the Senate Majority Leader and the Speaker of the Assembly. And you never know exactly what's going on in that room, but it seems pretty clear that there are political forces at play in the Assembly that are keeping the tax credit from getting done. We know that the Senate politically is not going to do the DREAM Act. They're not going to do it, and that's why we've been talking about delinking the two and getting the tax credit done. Because while the majority of the members in the Assembly support it, the political factors, meaning you can read that as the state teachers unions who oppose the tax credit, they are getting to the Assembly members and causing some trouble in that House. And we're urging them to put those political special interest groups aside and think about what's best for the kids, and that's competition and that's good schools. We can't continue to lose Catholic schools like we've been losing in this state. It's a tragedy for the kids. It's a tragedy for taxpayers because we save taxpayers so much money every year, $8 billion a year. Non-public school parents save the taxpayers.
And so who does the New York State Catholic Conference have to exert pressure on now? I know that your Director of Education, Jim Colteraro, is very much in the thick of things. He's very busy. What is his real task right now?
Well, all of our task is to be down there and to continue to talk to the membership of the Assembly, but continue to also call on the governor to use his bully pulpit, if you will, to get this done. He's identified it as a priority, and that's all well and good to propose, but now we need him to step up. He's the same party as the leadership in the Assembly. They're all Democrats, and he's the leader of that party, and we need him to step up and put pressure on the Assembly. We're doing our part to try and do that too, and Cardinal Dolan has had phone calls with the Speaker. He's had phone calls with the governor. He's had phone calls with members. We know that other bishops, Bishop DiMarzio and others, are talking to their members, and so the bishops are very closely involved in trying to get this done. And we at the conference are their voices at the Capitol, and we are down there constantly trying to urge all sides to come to the table and get the tax credit done. We really think it's important that it get done as part of the budget, and the budget is due by April 1st, so the time is of the essence.
We certainly are very much on top of this in our Archdiocese and our Diocese of Brooklyn, and we know that there at NYS catholic.org, your website, there is a link where you can directly take action to put pressure on the Assembly. We're definitely involved and very much support you.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thanks, Dennis.